Have you ever felt drained from trying to keep everyone happy? Stressed by opinions that don't even belong to you? Exhausted from overthinking, overgiving, and overexplaining? Then this book, this moment, is exactly what your soul has been waiting for. Welcome to Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Not just a book, a boundary-setting revolution. Mel Robbins is one of the most trusted voices in personal growth. From her viral 5-second rule to best-selling books that have changed millions of lives, Mel doesn't just inspire, she activates. And in Let Them Theory, she's giving you the most freeing advice you've never heard. Let them. Let them judge. Let them leave. Let them think what they want. Because the more you let them, the more you finally let yourself. This audiobook summary will guide you chapter by chapter through the science, the stress, the self-doubt, and the social pressure. It will help you stop managing everyone else's emotions and start managing your own peace. So take a deep breath, let go of what's not yours, and lean into a whole new way of living. If you're ready to reclaim your time, energy, and self-worth, like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe for more content that helps you rise. Now, let's begin your Let Me era. Chapter 1. Stop wasting your life on things you can't control. Let's be real. Life is full of things we can't control. People's opinions, their reactions, traffic jams, family drama. And yet, we spend a ridiculous amount of time obsessing over them. Mel Robbins opens Chapter 1 with a powerful truth. You're not exhausted because you're doing too much. You're exhausted because you're wasting your energy on things that don't matter. You can't control how people behave, but you can control how you respond. You can't stop people from judging you, but you can stop letting their judgment run your life. This is where the let them theory comes in. If they want to criticize, let them. If they want to ignore you, let them. If they want to walk away, let them. Because the moment you let go of controlling others, you finally take control of yourself. Mel calls this a shift in ownership. Instead of trying to manage the outside world, you start managing your inside world. That's where real peace begins. She reminds us, you are not a puppet on someone else's string. You don't need permission to protect your energy. You don't need approval to say no. And you definitely don't need to spend one more minute chasing validation that will never satisfy you. What would happen if you truly let go? If you stopped defending yourself? Stopped explaining yourself? Stopped fighting battles that were never yours to begin with? You'd be lighter, freer, stronger, more focused. You'd reclaim hours of your day and years of your life. Because peace isn't found in getting everything under control. It's found in surrendering what was never yours to manage. So today, let this be your mantra. I let them. I let go. And I choose me. This is just the beginning of the let them theory. But already, it's a beginning that feels like freedom. Chapter 2. Getting started. Let them and let me. The let them mindset is powerful, but it's only half the story. Because letting them be who they are also makes space for you to be who you are. In this chapter, Mel Robbins introduces the second half of the equation. Let me. Let them judge. Let them talk. Let them leave. But also, let me rise. Let me grow. Let me step into my truth. Because if you spend your energy reacting to others, you'll never have enough left to create the life you actually want. Mel challenges you here, not just to let go of what's dragging you down, but to lean fully into what lifts you up. Start asking yourself, what do I need? What do I believe? What do I want to build? Feel, say, become? You don't need permission. You need alignment. Let them do whatever they want, but let me show up for myself unapologetically. This chapter reminds you, letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means giving yourself back. You start to feel the shift here. You stop chasing what's not meant for you, You stop shrinking to fit into someone else's comfort zone. You reclaim your space, your peace, your power. Mel says this practice starts small, like all powerful things do. With one breath, one moment, one choice to let them and to let you. So if someone doesn't like you, let them. If someone doubts you, let them. And if someone underestimates you, oh, definitely, let them. Because the best response is always this: let me show you who I really am. This chapter is a declaration. It's where you stop reacting and start living. Chapter 3. Shocker. Life is stressful. Life isn't just stressful. It's meant to be. That's not a glitch in the system. It's part of the human experience. In this chapter, Mel Robbins calls out the obvious. We're all carrying something. Deadlines, bills, heartbreak, doubt, comparison, family tension, you name it. But here's the twist. The goal isn't to eliminate stress. It's to learn how to move through it with strength and intention. Stress shows up when you're growing, when you're changing, when you're stepping into new roles and deeper truths. So instead of fearing stress, what if you saw it as a signal? A sign that you're alive and evolving. Mel reminds you that you can do hard things. You've done it before. You'll do it again. The real challenge isn't the stress, it's your response to it. When stress comes knocking, you've got two choices. Let it drown you, or let it teach you. Let it teach you how strong you are, how resilient, how much you can still rise, even on your worst days. You don't need to pretend everything's fine. You just need to remember, you're not broken, you're becoming. Stress is real, but so is your power. Let the hard days come. Let them pass. Let them reveal who you're becoming. And through it all, keep going. You've got this. Chapter 4. Let them stress you out. Yes, you read that right. Let them stress you out. Not because you enjoy the chaos, but because resistance is often worse than the stress itself. Here's what Mel Robbins is really saying. People are going to do what they do, say what they say, react how they react. You can't control their emotions. You can't manage their tone. And you definitely can't fix how they deal with life. Trying to do that? That's the stress you don't need. Instead of jumping in to soothe or solve, Mel invites you to let them. Let them freak out. Let them rant. Let them be uncomfortable. Because that's where their growth lies. And yours, too. When you stop trying to carry everyone else's emotions, you free up space to handle your own. You gain clarity. You protect your peace. And you finally stop absorbing everyone else's storm. Let them stress you out. And then choose not to own it. Because their stress doesn't have to become your suffering. It's not your job to carry what isn't yours. The next time someone else's drama walks into the room, you'll remember, you can breathe, you can pause, and you can let them. That's not selfish, that's powerful. That's how peace begins. Chapter 5. Let them think bad thoughts about you. People are going to talk. They're going to judge. They're going to misunderstand you, sometimes intentionally. And guess what? That's not your problem. Mel Robbins introduces one of the most powerful parts of the let them theory right here. Let them think bad thoughts about you. Seriously, let them. Because the truth is, no matter what you do, someone will disapprove. You could bend over backwards, explain yourself 1,000 times, and they still won't get it. So what's the point in performing? What's the point in exhausting yourself for someone else's perception? Let them. Let them think you're selfish. Let them think you've changed. Let them whisper behind your back. Because when you stop managing how people see you, you start managing how you feel. Mel reminds us, when you carry the burden of everyone's opinions, you become a prisoner to their stories. But when you say, let them, you unlock a version of you that's free, focused, and deeply grounded. Here's the reality. What others think of you isn't a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them, their fears, their wounds, their insecurities. And if you live your life constantly trying to change those thoughts, you'll never have time to live your truth. Let them think you're too bold, too ambitious, too soft, too anything. Because while they're busy judging you, you'll be busy building a life that feels good to you. There's something wildly liberating about no longer explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone a PowerPoint presentation on your piece. You don't need a permission slip to choose your happiness. Let them. Let them stay confused. Let them have their opinions. Let them sit with their discomfort while you rise with your truth. Because the minute you stop needing everyone to like you, you finally start liking yourself. That's the magic of let them. It's not cold. It's not cruel. It's clarity. Clarity that your peace is worth more than their approval. And the people who really matter, the ones who truly see you, they don't need convincing. So breathe deeper, walk lighter, and let them think whatever they want. You've got a life to live. Chapter 6. How to Love Difficult People. We all know them. That person who drains your energy, who always has something negative to say, who triggers you in ways you can't explain. And here's the real kicker. Sometimes we love them. Sometimes they're family. Sometimes they're people we can't just walk away from. So, how do you love someone who's difficult? How do you stay kind when they're anything but? Mel Robbins gives us the answer. You stop trying to change them. And instead, you change how you show up. Let them be who they are. Let them say what they want. Let them sit in their storm. Because their behavior isn't your responsibility. Your reaction is. Loving difficult people doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means setting boundaries, not walls. It means offering grace without sacrificing your peace. Sometimes, love looks like space. Sometimes, love is silence instead of reacting. Sometimes, love is choosing not to argue even when you could win. Mel teaches us. People who hurt others are usually hurting themselves. They operate from fear, from pain, from unhealed wounds they never talk about. So let them. Let them project. Let them vent. Let them spiral. While you stay centered. While you stay grounded in your values. While you choose patience, not perfection. Here's the secret. Loving difficult people doesn't change them. It changes you. It teaches you emotional discipline. It deepens your empathy. It reminds you that compassion isn't weakness, it's wisdom in action. And sometimes, that love you offer them, it plants a seed, one that might grow tomorrow, or never. But the beauty is, you're no longer attached to the outcome, because you've already won. You chose peace over pride. You chose strength over control. You chose love, the real kind. So when they act up again, and they will, breathe, smile, and let them. Chapter 7. When grown-ups throw tantrums. Let's face it. Some adults never outgrow their tantrums. They slam doors. They raise their voices. They give you the silent treatment. And you're left standing there, confused, drained, and wondering, what just happened? Here's what Mel Robbins wants you to know. Their tantrum isn't about you. It never was. Adults who throw tantrums, they're reacting from emotional immaturity, from unmet needs, from a desperate desire to control something, anything. And guess what? You don't have to attend every tantrum you're invited to. Let them yell. Let them sulk. Let them huff and puff. But don't let them drag you into the storm they're creating. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Stay out of it. Because your peace is your power. And reacting only gives their chaos more fuel. Mel's message is simple. Let them have their tantrum, and you take the high road. It's not your job to fix their feelings. It's not your job to manage their emotions. Here's what is your job. to know your boundaries, to protect your energy, to walk away when peace is no longer in the room. You are not cold for walking away. You are not rude for not engaging. You are wise. You are clear. You are done playing emotional dodgeball with people who can't regulate themselves. Let them be loud. Let them be petty. Let them slam every door in the house. But don't slam your soul shut just to keep the peace. That's not peace. That's self-betrayal. So next time a grown-up throws a tantrum, remember, you're not their parent. You're not their punching bag. You're not their therapist. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to stay silent. You are allowed to say, let them. Chapter 8. The right decision often feels wrong. Here's something nobody tells you. Doing the right thing often feels awful at first. Making the right decision, it rarely comes with a parade. It comes with doubt, fear, and sometimes deep sadness. That's because the right decision often demands you walk away from comfort, from old habits, from people who don't value your worth. It asks you to choose yourself, even when others don't understand. And that, right there, is what makes it feel so wrong. Because we are wired to seek safety in the familiar. Even when the familiar is toxic. Even when the familiar is keeping us stuck. But here's the truth Mel Robbins wants you to sit with. Growth doesn't feel good in the beginning. It feels like loss. It feels like isolation. It feels like doubt whispering. Maybe you made a mistake. But you didn't. You made a decision based on truth. And truth doesn't always feel good at first. It feels heavy until it sets you free. So, when you make the decision to leave the job, in the relationship, say no for the first time, or stop explaining yourself, let it feel wrong. Let it feel uncomfortable. But don't let it stop you. You are not broken for feeling sad about a decision that's best for you. You are human. You are awake. And you are brave. Mel says this is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. And that bridge? It always shakes. But it always holds. So the next time the right thing feels all kinds of wrong, don't panic. Don't turn back. Just breathe. Trust. And say the words that bring peace to your storm. Let them. Chapter 9. Yes, life isn't fair. Let's just say it out loud. Life isn't fair. You didn't deserve the betrayal. You didn't earn the heartbreak. You worked just as hard, maybe harder, and still came up short. That's not fair. And you're right to feel it. Mel Robbins doesn't sugarcoat this. She knows life hands out challenges like candy on Halloween. Some people get more. Some people get crushed. And some people rise. Not because it was fair, but because they stopped waiting for it to be. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you do with it. That's your superpower. Unfairness will break your heart, but it can also break you open. Open to growth. Open to resilience. Open to something better than fair. Freedom. Freedom from needing life to play by your rules. Freedom from bitterness. Freedom from carrying pain that doesn't belong to you. Mel teaches this. When you let life be unfair and still choose to love, to rise, to keep going, you become unstoppable. So the job went to someone else. So the apology never came. So they hurt you and never looked back. Let them. This chapter isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about releasing the grip unfairness has on your future. You can scream, cry, rant, do it all. But after that, choose again. Choose growth. Choose power. Choose peace. Because fair is not the goal. Free is. And your freedom begins the moment you stop waiting for the world to even the score. Chapter 10. How to make comparison your teacher. Comparison We all do it. You scroll. You see someone winning. And instantly, you feel behind. That knot in your chest. It whispers, you're not doing enough. You're not good enough. But here's the truth Mel Robbins brings to light. Comparison isn't the enemy. It's a compass. The person you're jealous of. That life you keep watching. It's not there to shame you. It's there to teach you. Instead of asking, why not me? Ask, what is this showing me? Jealousy is just desire, masked by judgment. So lean in. What do they have that you want? Freedom? Confidence? Joy? Great. Now you've got a roadmap. Use comparison as a clue, not a verdict, not a sentence. A clue to what matters to you. Mel reminds us, the moment you shift comparison from pain to power, you become a student of your future. The world isn't holding you back. Your perspective is. That version of someone you admire. It's just a reflection of your potential. You're not behind. You're being guided. And now you know what to chase. Let them shine. Let them lead. Let them inspire the parts of you that are ready to wake up. Because comparison, when used wisely, isn't competition. It's direction. Chapter 11. The truth no one told you about adult friendship. Let's be honest. Adult friendships? They're confusing. They're messy. And often, they're lonely. Nobody told you that growing up would mean growing apart. Schedules get tight. Priorities shift. And suddenly, the people you used to talk to every day, you haven't heard from in months. It feels personal. But it's not. Mel Robbins makes it clear. This is normal. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. It means life is happening. Here's the truth no one told you. Friendship in adulthood isn't about quantity. It's about quality. You don't need 10 best friends. You need one honest one. You need someone who listens, who checks in, who gets it. And sometimes, you'll have to be the one who reaches out first. That doesn't mean you're needy. It means you care. Don't wait for the perfect moment to reconnect. Send the text. Make the call, even if it's been years. Because the right people, they won't make you feel guilty. They'll just be glad you're back. Mel reminds us, friendships evolve. Some fade. Some deepen. And that's okay. You don't have to hold on to everyone. But you do have to hold space for the ones who matter now. Let them drift if they must. Let them move on if they need to. But also, let them back in when it feels right. Because the truth is you're never too old to start new friendships. You're never too late to rebuild old ones. Friendship isn't a fixed thing. It's a living thing. And it grows with you. Chapter 12. Why some friendships naturally fade. Some friendships don't end with a fight. They just fade. No harsh words. No grand goodbye. Just silence where laughter used to live. And you wonder, did I do something wrong? Was it me? But Mel Robbins wants you to know, not every friendship is built to last forever. Some people are chapters, not the whole book. It doesn't mean they weren't real. It just means their role in your life has shifted. We all grow. We change jobs. We move cities. We become parents. We chase different dreams. And sometimes, your growth takes you down a path your old friends can't, or won't, follow. That's not failure. That's life. When a friendship fades, it can feel like loss. And grief might show up in surprising ways. But the let them theory reminds us, let them drift. Let them go. Let them live the life they've chosen. You don't have to chase after what's already walking away. Instead, focus on what's here. Who's showing up now? Who checks in? Who makes you feel seen, safe, and supported. Some friendships serve a purpose for a season. To teach you, to heal you, or to walk beside you during a storm. Then their time ends. And that's okay. Mel says, let go without bitterness. Honor what you had. Be grateful for what it gave you. And be open to what's next. Because when you let go of faded connections, you make room for deeper ones, wiser ones, truer ones. Let them fade. Let yourself rise. Chapter 13. How to create the best friendships of your life. If some friendships fade, then how do you build the ones that last? The kind of friendships that feel like home. Mel Robbins calls them soul friendships. And guess what? They don't just happen. You create them. It starts with you. Are you the kind of friend you're looking for? Are you consistent? Do you show up when it matters? Can you hold space without judgment? Real friendships grow where truth lives, where vulnerability is safe, and support isn't earned, it's offered freely. Mel says, stop waiting to be invited. Be the inviter. Send the message. Make the plan. Because strong friendships are intentional. They're built with repetition and heart. It's not about having tons of friends. It's about having a few real ones who see you fully. To create the best friendships of your life, let people see the real you. Not the curated version. Not the edited highlight reel. But the full, messy, beautiful you. And when someone shows up like that, reciprocate. Celebrate their wins. Sit with their losses. And tell them often, I'm glad you're in my life. Friendship isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Let go of people who can't meet you where you are, and pour into those who can. The best friendships don't need constant maintenance, but they do need consistency. Mel reminds us, the most extraordinary connections happen when you lead with love, patience, and courage. So if you're ready, start building them today, one honest conversation at a time. That's how you create the best friendships of your life. Chapter 14. People only change when they feel like it. Here's the hard truth. You can't force someone to change. No matter how much you love them, no matter how clearly you see their potential, they have to want it for themselves. Mel Robbins makes this crystal clear. People only change when they're ready. Not when you pressure them. Not when you guilt them. Not when you beg. Change is personal. It's a choice that comes from within. And until that internal decision is made, no amount of talking, pushing, or fixing will work. So what can you do? Mel says, let them. Let them be where they are. Let them stumble. Let them resist. Let them sit in their own discomfort. Because that's where growth begins. In the stillness. In the space between self-reflection and choice. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you respect their journey. Your job isn't a rescue. It's to witness. To hold space. To lead by example. You don't teach people by preaching. You teach by being. Be the proof that change is possible. Live the values you hope they'll embrace. And if they're ready, they'll rise. Not because you pulled them, but because you inspired them. Mel's reminder is simple and powerful. You are not responsible for anyone else's transformation. Only your own. So release the weight. Let them find their path. And trust, if they're meant to evolve, they will. On their time. On their terms. Not yours. Chapter 15. Unlock the power of your influence. Here's something most people forget. You have more influence than you think. Not because you shout the loudest. Not because you argue the best. But because of how you live. Influence doesn't come from control. It comes from alignment. When your actions match your values. When your words reflect your integrity, when your energy walks into a room before you do, that's influence. Mel Robbins teaches us that real impact doesn't come from forcing change. It comes from embodying change. Want to motivate someone? Start by motivating yourself. Want to see more kindness in the world? Be kind when no one's watching. Want people to grow, evolve, level up? Then show them what it looks like. Because here's the secret. People don't follow advice. They follow examples. And when your life reflects what's possible, you give others silent permission to do the same. This chapter isn't just about inspiring others. It's about realizing the ripple effect you already have. Your courage becomes someone else's courage. Your peace becomes someone else's hope. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to show up real, honest, and committed to becoming better. That's how you influence. By being, not by convincing. So let them watch you grow. Let them feel your light. Let them see your boundaries. That's where your power lives. Not in what you try to change in others, but in what you awaken in them just by being you. Chapter 16. The more you rescue, the more they sink. It feels good to help, to jump in, to fix, to rescue. Especially when it's someone you love. You see them drowning in stress or spiraling in bad choices, and your first instinct is, let me save them. But here's the hard truth. The more you rescue, the more they sink. Why? Because every time you do the work for them, you rob them of the chance to become stronger. You think you're being supportive, but you might be creating dependence. Mel Robbins reminds us, people grow when they struggle through, not when they're constantly pulled out. Yes, it's hard to watch. Yes, it's painful to step back. But letting them face it isn't cruelty. It's empowerment. You are not responsible for fixing other people's messes. You are not their savior. What you are is someone who believes in their strength. So let them fall. Let them rise. Let them figure it out. That's where the growth is. That's where confidence is born. When you overhelp, you send a silent message. I don't believe you can do this on your own. But when you hold space instead of taking over, you say, I trust you. You've got this. Support doesn't mean taking the wheel. It means walking beside them, even if they trip. So if you've been rescuing someone over and over, stop. Let them swim. Even if the waves are rough, you can cheer them on from the shore. But the ocean? That's their journey now. Chapter 17. How to provide support the right way. There's a difference between helping and empowering, between fixing and supporting. Most people don't need you to solve their problems. They need you to believe they can solve them. That's what real support looks like. Not control, not micromanaging, not making their pain about you. Mel Robbins breaks it down simply. When someone is struggling, your job is not to carry them. It's to stand beside them, to listen without judgment, to validate their feelings, and ask, what do you need right now? That one question, it changes everything. It shifts you from savior mode to partner mode. Because sometimes they just want to vent. Sometimes they need advice. And sometimes they just need you to sit quietly and hold space. Support means allowing them to feel, without rushing to fix or minimize it. Support means seeing their strength, even when they can't. You can remind them of their power, but you can't give them power. They have to own it. They have to earn it. So stop trying to rescue everyone. Stop trying to be the hero. Instead, be the mirror that reflects their potential. Be the presence that says, I'm here. I see you. I believe in you. That kind of support, it's rare. It's powerful. And it actually helps. Chapter 18. Let them show you who they are. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's not just a clever phrase. It's a survival tool, a filter, a mirror. We spend so much energy hoping people will change, trying to see their potential, not their pattern. But Mel Robbins reminds us, people don't hide their true selves for long. They reveal them in their actions, in their choices, in how they treat you when no one's watching. If they lie once, they'll lie again. If they ignore your boundaries, they'll keep crossing them. Let them, not because it's okay, but because it tells you what you need to know. You don't need to fix them. You don't need to justify their behavior. You just need to pay attention. We all get stuck in potential, who they could be, what it might look like. But that version, it lives in your mind, not in reality. Let them show you. Then believe them. Because the most dangerous people are not the loud ones. They're the inconsistent ones. They make you question yourself, doubt your worth, twist your instincts into silence. But the moment you say, I see you, I accept that this is who you are, you stop waiting. You stop trying. You stop hoping for someone who isn't coming. Letting them show you. That's how you take your power back. Because the truth is, when people tell you who they are, they're doing you a favor. They're setting you free. Chapter 19. How to take your relationship to the next level. Great relationships don't happen by luck. They're built, brick by brick, moment by moment, choice by choice. In this chapter, Mel Robbins invites you to stop waiting for someone else to change and start showing up as the person who lifts the relationship. You want more intimacy? Be more vulnerable. You want more honesty? Be radically truthful. You want more connection? Start listening with your heart, not just your ears. Because the next level isn't just about what they do. It's about what you do differently. Mel reminds us, every powerful relationship thrives on clarity, not assumptions, not guessing games. Clarity. Ask for what you need. Speak your expectations. Communicate with compassion, but don't dilute your truth. And let them respond. Let them rise, or let them fall away. Because if you have to shrink to make it work, it's not working. Taking your relationship to the next level doesn't always mean together. Sometimes it means rising apart, choosing growth, even when it hurts. But when two people decide to rise together, to own their flaws, to heal their wounds, to love without ego, that's when magic happens. You start to build a love that isn't built on control, but on respect. Not based on fear, but on safety. Not craving validation, but thriving in mutual celebration. The next level isn't complicated. It's courageous. So show up. Speak up. And if they can't meet you there, let them go. Because you deserve a relationship where you don't have to chase effort. You match it. And that is how you rise together. Chapter 20. The final chapter. How every ending is a beautiful beginning. Endings hurt. Let's be real. They sting. They break us open. They make us question everything. But Mel Robbins says this. Endings are not just conclusions. They're invitations. Invitations to begin again. Wiser. Stronger. Clearer. Sometimes the job ends. The relationship crumbles. The dream fades. And we feel like we've lost everything. But look closer. That ending. It cleared the path for something new. Something better aligned. Something more you. Mel reminds us, you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. So stop clinging to what collapsed. Stop chasing what's already walked away. And stop begging to stay where your soul no longer belongs. Let them. Let them leave. Let them misunderstand you. Let them go. Because this isn't the end of your story. It's the start of a new chapter. One where you rise, not in spite of the ending, but because of it. You begin to trust yourself more. Speak your truth louder. Love yourself deeper. And build a life you no longer need to escape from. The beauty of endings is this. They force us to evolve. They demand growth. And they awaken a version of you that couldn't emerge while you were stuck. So next time something ends, say thank you. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the space. Thank you for the beginning disguised as an ending. Because what's meant for you, it won't end. It will expand. And that is the gift of letting go. The final remarks. Your Let Me era is here. You've reached the end of this journey. But really, this is where the real journey begins. Because let them theory isn't just a mindset shift. It's a life shift. It's the moment you stop chasing the impossible and start choosing what's possible for you. Let them judge. Let them leave. Let them underestimate you. Let them live their lives. Because now, you're living yours. This book was never about changing them. It was about freeing you. Freeing you from the pressure to please. Freeing you from the weight of comparison. Freeing you from the fear of being misunderstood. Mel Robbins reminds us, you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need permission to protect your peace. And you don't have to fix people who don't want to be fixed. You just have to stand in your truth, love from your heart, and let the rest unfold. This is your Let Me era. Let me focus on what I can control. Let me set boundaries without guilt. Let me live with clarity, strength, and self-respect. You are not here to be small. You are here to rise. You are here to be free. And now that you've seen what's possible, don't ever go back. Let this be your moment. Let this be your message. Let them, while you rise. If this audiobook summary inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more soul-shifting books that wake you up and lift you higher. Because this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. Your Let Me era starts now.